Legionnaires of the Lariat, welcome back to another episode of I Still Call It a Lariat. And today we are here to review Crown Jewel. I am your host, Micah Wright. With me as always is my tag team partner, Zapf. Steven, how we doing, bud?
I don't know if you see this amazing hat that I have on, but that means I'm doing pretty well.
Merch? Is that merch?
It is merch for those members of the Legion that would like to get such a cool hat as this. Contact us through our social medias, through our email addresses that are all linked down below for exact pricing and things to that effect. I'm very excited that we finally got there. We do not have a link for the actual sales site yet. I'm setting that up. So for right now, use the info email that we have down there. That is the best one.
Oh, but we'll fix that soon enough, Legion. Don't worry.
We will absolutely fix that. But let's talk about Crown Jewel a little bit. I feel like this has to be a bounce back bounce back PLE for them, because WrestlePalooza was mid and ESPN let them know it.
They sure did. I mean, Clash in Paris was kind of mid. The SummerSlam was fine.
SummerSlam was fine. Honestly, the best PLE that they've put out all year has been pretty much Evolution.
Evolution?
Yeah. Yeah. They're just sitting in their ivory tower.
This is completely different.
Yeah? Is it now?
No, I don't believe it. I think that we're in a lull. In fairness, this is what happens in wrestling. It ebbs and flows. And from, I want to say, before the cycle leading up to Cody Roman 1 at WrestleMania, kind of when we first started doing this, that was a peak. You're talking about probably starting a little bit before that, and that was 2023 at this point in time. You have, or I guess was that WrestleMania 2024? So starting around 2023, we really saw kind of the height of this new era of what we're even watching, and now we're kind of fizzling out a little bit in my mind. I think it will bounce back. I just don't know if Crown Jewel is going to be the card that has it bounce back.
No, I don't think it is. And the problem is it's kind of what's the old saying where it's like, well, tough times make tough men make easier times make soft men make tough times type situation. I think it's one of those where WWE got so high that everyone thought they could do no wrong, and they started resting on their laurels. And also they're running the business too much like a business rather than an entertainment industry where you have to be on kind of every week.
Yeah, I think the crack showed the most this year with Cena's retirement tour and how much they bungled this. We've talked about it before, and I'm not going to go into great detail on it because I think we did this last time around. But it really has been an utter just dropping of the ball. This could have been awesome. This could have been the greatest hits of Cena. It could have been us seeing Cena versus Drew versus Seth versus CM Punk. We got Cody twice, which is great. But there was a lot of missed opportunities in this run, turning him heel, which never made any sense. And you have us on recording here saying that it never made sense for all those people who were saying this is the best heel turn of all times. I don't know. This is really where the cracks started to show, and it really messed this whole year up because there's such high expectations. And now we're going into Cena Styles, which honestly, it might have been a great starter match of all of this. And now we're just kind of fit him in here. And I am curious how that's going to go down. But all in all, this show, like WrestlePalooza, has a lot of potential to be great. I know it's only 5 cards, and I know we've seen Roman versus Bronson already, but the Stephanie Valkyra versus Tiffany Stratton match has an opportunity to be a really, really strong match. John Cena versus AJ Styles could be a lot of fun if it's done correctly. Rhea, Io, Kabuki Warriors has match of the year potential. I'm not saying it's going to be match of the year, but has match of the year potential. And Cody versus Seth this is the first one-on-one match since well before that last Mania, where he helped Cody win the title.
I think this is the first one-on-one match between them since Cody tore his pec.
Is that what it is? Has it been that long? It's been like 2.5 years?
I think it's been that long. I think it has. I mean, Legion, let me know if I'm wrong, obviously, but I think that was the last match they had was the pec tear match, because I think that's what they keep saying is that he's 3-0 against Rollins right now.
He's 3-0. Yep.
And so that would be the pec tear.
And this has, again, another potential match of the year. If Rollins and Rhodes are as good as we want to say they are, that Cody Rhodes is PWI Insider's #1 wrestler of the year, they should be able to tear the house down in this match and put it all on the line, champion versus champion. Like that's what these two guys need to bring, in my opinion. I don't think we're going to get that. In honesty, not to be a pessimist, I'm usually the optimist in the group. I think we're going to get I'm hoping we get a solid show. I hope we don't get WrestlePalooza.
I'm hoping for a B-. I'm hoping for a B- show, and I'm staying optimistic that there is the yeah. And but I think there's a possibility that we might get an A+ show. If every one of these matches performs right, we could get a great show. We absolutely could.
What are you most excited for on this card? And don't say Rhea Io versus the Kabuki Warriors.
I'm actually excited for Cody and Seth, mainly because there's a lot of side storylines that come into play with that match. There's Cody Randy, there's Seth and Paul, there's this whole underlying thing with both sides doing different things. And honestly, I think if they do what they tend to do a lot of times, they're going to put on an actual wrestling match, which will be nice. It'll like they're going to put on an actual main event level wrestling match. Think Steamboat Flair, think, someone along those lines, the Macho Man Steamboat type thing. We're going to get a match that's going to probably start off with a lockup, and they're going to feel each other out for a little bit. And even though they've tried to put a little bit of intensity into it, let's face it, the whole Crown Jewel Championship, there's not much behind this stuff. Like they're trying to build something that's just it's kind of a gimmick in and of itself.
Yeah, let's get past the Crown Jewel ring or whatever it is. But champion versus champion has its own right. Like these are the two top guys in WWE. These are the two top gals in WWE, and them going head to head and expecting to get a real winner out of this without too many shenanigans. I don't see how Rollins doesn't have some kind of shenanigans in here.
Shenanigans,
but, like that in its own right, give you a really solid match and excitement around it. Just having champion versus champion, since they do have technically two top titles, but this can go a long way. Joe, I'll actually say that comment for when we review the match. So let's kick this off.
So Showtime, wait, real quick. What are you looking forward to? What are you looking forward to?
Whatever. Yes. Cody's Seth was going to be my answer because I didn't expect you to say that. So I'm going to go Stephanie and Tiffany. Obviously, I feel like saying Rhea and Io and the Kabuki Warriors is just our normal shtick. Like, oh, of course, Rhea's on the card. Rhea and Io are here. Let's choose that card, that one.
Let's just go with that.
It's a default answer. I'm very, very curious about Stephanie and Tiffany, like the ultimate 80s names going head to head. Because that's the one I think I'm the least confident on what's going to happen. I'll get into kind of that when we review the match a bit more. But this has really big potential to steal the show, and they have their work cut out for them if they're going to steal the show. Because I have full confidence in Stephanie and Tiffany's abilities at this point in time. You have a tag match of Rhea, Io, and the Kabuki Warriors, plus everything that has to do with Rollins and Rhodes that we already kind of talked about. But if they have the opportunity, if they take this opportunity to put on the best match of the night, I'll say if they do that, you get at least an A- on this card, no matter what happens in the other matches in here.
I like that.
So, with that being said, Steven, I got a brand new stipulation for you. Came out yesterday.
Brand new.
Because we got Roman Reigns. Brand new. Came out yesterday. We have Roman Reigns versus Big Bronson Reed in an Australian street fight, which I don't know what makes it different than a different street fight or bloodlines rules or all the other things, except there better be at least two extremely venomous animals around that if they do bite one of these guys, they actually die.
Possibly a kangaroo.
Maybe. I'll take kangaroo. But like some sort of snake, spider, Komodo dragon.
Could this match start in the Australian streets, otherwise known as the bush?
Sure.
Then I'm in for it. Then it is a different match. If this match started
it's so different.
Like if it was just out in the wilderness, that'd be awesome. But
they're doing a walkabout. Is that what it is?
Oh yeah, walkabout. Yeah, that'd be amazing. That'd be great. But that's not what we're gonna get. They're going to be in the middle of the ring. They're going to start it off. There's going to be no lockup. They're going to start throwing big hands right off the bat. There will absolutely be a kendo stick involved. Probably a steel chair or several steel chairs. Somebody will get speared, thrown, tackled through a barricade, and at some point, one of them will go through one of the announce tables.
And they'll probably set up someone will set up a table and then get thrown through said table they set up.
Yes. I think we've actually managed to decipher this whole match. So if we're just off of that,
I think maybe do we get a Foster's can in here somewhere?
That'd be awesome.
Like one of those big oil cans. Just saying, that could be a thing. That makes it Australian.
Roman looking at Bronson and being like he picks up like a little tiny kendo stick. He's like, that's not a kendo stick. Picks up a full size one. This is a kendo stick. Little nod to Crocodile Dundee.
See, given that Australia is known for their kendo sticks,
totally.
Here we are. So, Stephen, what do you think? What comes out of this match? Who stands tall?
I think Roman wins this. I think that's where we're at with this. I think Roman still wins this to set up either full on OG bloodline versus the Vision. So all three members, Roman and the Usos versus the Bronze and Seth, or it's going to at the very least, set up Roman versus Breaker at some point. I would like, and like, I know I keep saying this, and like, it goes way, way against the grain. I would have liked that if they had turned Jay heel 2 months ago when Jay teamed with Roman. I would have liked that area, because it would have been so unexpected, because he was so hot at the time. Like, he was still Jey Uso. And I get that it goes against the grain, but I don't know when they're going to do it now, and I don't know if they're going to do it. Like, it seems like almost, I don't think we're going to do this now.
I have an alternate theory for you, Steven, on this match. I agree with some of the things you said there, but you made me think of one very interesting thing in the moment. So this is hot off the presses. We didn't even talk about this going into this. But, Steven, what if you were close but wrong about who should go heel here? And it's Jimmy.
Wow.
Because you have all this attention that Roman is giving Jay, and how he's supposed to be the successor. He's the one that changed because he got the world title shot. He is the one with the spotlight on it. He's main event Jey Uso. And Jimmy is just Jimmy Uso. And I could see that being the turn and what costs Roman the title. I do think that they will set up a trios match here. I think that it makes a lot of sense for it. But I think for this one, we already had Roman beat Bronson Reed clean. I don't really see why this match needs to happen in Bronson's backyard.
I was say, he is Australian, isn't he? I was say he is Australian, and I wasn't even thinking about that. Bronson Reed, yeah, he's Australian. You know what? I'm actually going to switch it over just because he is Australian. I think he's actually going to be. I think he's. I think this is a situation where they put over the hometown boy in this one.
Yeah, I think it's not clean. But I think that Bronson Reed goes over here. Damn it. This is why you should do these predictions yourself, so I can't talk you out of the right one. Because I was going to say I think we're going to have a couple differences of opinion, but we'll end up tying anyway. Whereas in like other times when we disagree, I'm like pretty confident that mine's right. This one, there's a couple of them here that I think we can go either way and then end up just tying at the end of the day anyway. This might be the reason why, because we both picked Big Bronson Reed here. I think that there's going to be a ton of shenanigans here. I think Braun Breaker gets involved, probably costs Roman the match. I don't think you see Seth. It is weird. I feel like they have kind of separated Seth a little bit, particularly with all the Becky stuff. And so they kind of split these guys around. We'll get into a little bit more on the interaction between Paul Heyman and Seth and kind of what we think that's building to it when we get to the main event, or what we are speculating is the main event here. But that's kind of the way I see this one going down. I really don't see the reason why we have this match if Bronson's not going to win it at home. And I think that you'll see a huge pop from Roman. Everyone will be super excited to see him. But they will go absolutely nuts if Bronson Reed goes over here. So, next we'll move on to the Women's Crown Jewel Championship ring.
Championship.
We have Stephanie McCure versus Tiffany Stratton. And again, a match I think has the opportunity to steal the night. If the two of them come out here and do their best, I think that we have real hot match potential. I do think that Stephanie McCure is probably the more talented wrestler. I think that they probably do want to keep her strong, but Tiffany Stratton gives me, what's the right way to say this, like chosen child or the chosen one kind of vibes, like where they're like hyper protecting her at this moment in time. To try to build her into something like legendary. Is it Charlotte Flair 2.0 or whatever you want to call it. Really, really excited about this match and what potentially can come out of it, having two champions. Who did Liv beat last year? Was it Io?
Liv beat.
No, it wasn't Io.
Nia.
Was it Nia?
Liv beat Nia. I'm almost positive Liv beat Nia.
Nia was champ at the time?
I believe so.
Shit. My computer is not letting me move. So I'm just trying to figure out like kind of what happened last year. It's funny because if it's Liv versus Nia last year, you had heel versus heel, and now we kind of have face versus face. You going to the videotape for me here?
I'm checking the intrawebs for you. Results. Yes, Liv beat Nia Jax.
Yeah.
So
it's funny they went heel, and now we have face.
Even though let's face it, Tiffany should not be a face. Like Tiffany should not be a face.
She shouldn't be, but she is. Well, that's how they build her.
She is. This one is interesting to me too. I'm super like there's so much going on here. Like you said, they just made Stephanie champion, so they're gonna want to keep her strong. Mm-hmm. But also, they keep bringing up the fact that Tiffany hasn't lost a singles a match in 2025.
I've noticed that, and I
keep
can't
saying
tell. But at the same time, so like they did the same thing with Bianca at WrestleMania. Bianca's never lost a WrestleMania match, and then she lost. And it's such a WWE thing to do that again, and then have Tiffany win.
Yeah.
Because
wrestling math.
I don't know. I really have no idea who's going to win this match.
This is what I don't know who's going to win this match either. I'm just talking us in circles so that we can actually get a description of the match going. I will say this. This will be the best match that Tiffany has had in months. Because Stephanie is so good, she can lead this match. She is that good. She will absolutely be the ring general here, and we'll get a great match out of this because of Stephanie. And I'm not taking anything away from Tiffany Stratton, but the fact of the matter is she's been wrestling for a grand total of 5 years, maybe. I think it's like 4 years. And everyone that they throw her in there with as of late is not qualified to lead a match either. You can't put her in there with Nia or Jade and expect one of those three people to lead the match. They're not built for it. I'm sorry. And I'm not knocking them. Jade isn't experienced enough to lead a match. Nia is not creative enough to lead the match, in all honesty. They're good they're fine in the ring. It's just a matter of you need somebody that can lead this. And the last good match she really should have had was her versus Charlotte, and that got so muddy that it never happened. So Tiffany needs this match to be all that it can be, like the Army. She her and Stephanie need to, her and Stephanie need to go out and put on a barn burner. Stephanie needs to give Tiffany such a great match that people are forgetting how good Io versus Stephanie was last month. That's how good this match needs to be.
We don't usually do it this way, and I think it's rare that we don't know who's going to win a match. And so, Steven, who needs this win more?
Truthfully, I don't know. That's the real problem here, is because the other side of this is I don't know who either one of these people face on the other side of this.
Yeah. So
Like there's no one really strong.
I think I'm gonna go with Stephanie here because I think she actually needs it more. And the reason why I think she needs it more is that she never actually beat the champ.
That's fair.
And you remember we were talking about it last time after she had won this. We were talking about like have her go up against Bailey or Lyra the next night to like solidify the fact that she can beat champions. And I know that she beat Io to win this belt, but like Io wasn't really she wasn't the champion at the time. So like giving them another like former champion, almost like two former champions equals a real champion that you beat. And again, not taking anything away from Io, she's fantastic. She was very recently champion. So I think that Stephanie probably needs this a little bit more, and it will kind of help propel her a little bit further. Though, man, I can tell you, I might have a fever dream tonight and be like, you know what, I think it's Stephanie.
So I was just thinking about this. So also we kind of, I mean, I know she got hurt and apparently it was much worse than what we initially heard because all we heard was broken finger, but Bianca's been like nowhere for a really long time.
Yeah, in my head.
Like she was in the SummerSlam situation, right? Or the Evolution situation. Sorry. She was at Evolution.
Yeah, where she was a ref.
Yeah, where she refed for Jade and Naomi in the no holds barred match. But outside of that, she hasn't done anything else since Mania. This would be a really good time.
Match she shouldn't have to be a part of at all.
At all. This would be a good spot to get Bianca back involved with one of these two. I just don't know which show she's technically on anymore. So I don't know which I don't even know if that matters. I agree with you. I think this is the I think this is the win that Stephanie needs right now. I don't know what it does for Tiffany if Stephanie wins clean. I don't know if it hurts her. If it helps her. I don't know
Tiffany all that much.
I think
you
this
can
needs
have her lose this match after having such a strong year and then continue a run. Like almost be like the only match she loses all year is this one. And she still has a really, really strong title run with a lot of people on SmackDown, which really does not have a ton of talent that are nipping at her heels, or everyone's kind of locked up in other areas. Because I think that the clear better division is in is in Raw right now for the women's side of things. But yeah, like I think that you can still have Tiffany kind of come off strong the rest of the year and kind of bounce back from this loss. I don't think she loses too much. I don't think either loses too much from losing to champion.
Yeah. And I think you need to have, when I say lose clean, like I think this does need to be a clean loss, but I think it needs to be, I don't think it needs to be a finisher. I think this is one of those, you need a surprise wrestling move into a pin type situations. There's a twisting sunset flip that you didn't see. There something along those lines that you didn't realize. I think this is ideal for one of those situations where Stephanie, the more experienced pro wrestler, comes up with something that Tiffany has never seen before because she's never wrestled somebody with this much experience. And that's where that comes from.
Can you roll up the prettiest moonsault ever? Is that a possible thing that you could do? She does the moonsault and flips it over.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I'm trying to figure out how to do it. She turns enough outside of the prettiest moonsault ever where Tiffany lands on her feet and avoids the miss completely. And as she runs back over to take advantage of Stephanie, who is still down, Stephanie hits the nip up Rana into the pin.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
Like, it could. I don't know. That's kind of how I could see your thought of like no real strong finish, like just a roll up in an opportune time frame, like somewhere in a spot where Tiffany's about to win, but then surprise.
Yep. But I think that's where it kind of needs to be. And I have enough faith in Stephanie Vicker where she'll do this. She'll figure that out.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So moving on, we're gonna go to the non-canon match of the night, I guess you'd say. We have John Cena versus AJ Styles in a throwback match that is going to just be one of the greatest hits. It's certainly not going to be their best match of their career, but it'll be fun. It'll be probably relatively short. You'll see 600 finisher moves. Cena will most likely hit Styles with a Styles clash. And the kids will have fun. He'll have 40 kids run out of the entranceway with him because that's what John Cena does.
I think we actually see the least amount of finishers in this match out of any John Cena match of the last year.
Okay, I could buy that to a certain degree.
I want to point out, I think we still see an abundance, like a tremendous amount of AAs. But I think we only see like 1 or 2 AJ Styles finishers. And
two style clashes, but only one of them is by AJ.
Yeah, 2 Styles clashes, 1 phenomenal forearm, possibly a springboard 450. That's about it. I do like what AJ did on Raw this past week, or I believe it was this past week, where he got some time to talk and he said, this match doesn't need a story. And that would be great if it was exactly what needed to be said for this match. If we didn't have so much crap story surrounding John Cena before all of this. And now kind of, unfortunately, not enough time to unmuddy the water with the him and Lesnar thing.
Well, he's got, is it 5 matches left?
He's got like 5 appearances left, he said. And we keep getting different reports on who Cena's last match is going to be. I've heard Gunther. I've heard people still speculating that it's going to be Edge. I don't believe that. I've got, I've heard Lesnar. First of all, let's put that baby to bed. It's not going to be Edge. It's not. Tony is not letting him out of his contract for one day to go wrestle Cena to like make more money for his competition to make more money off of him. That's not happening. I don't care how many bad choices AEW makes. That's not going to be the bad choice.
I've said this numerous times. I think that it should be one of 2 people. I think it's going to ultimately be Gunther, but I don't think it should be. I think it should be either Braun Breaker or Dominic Mysterio.
And both of them should go over.
One of those 2 should be. Oh, 100%. Can you imagine what it would do for Dominic Mysterio's ego to beat John Cena in his final match? Oh my goodness. He has so much storyline there to like kind of ride that wave the rest of his career, even when the kids don't even know who John Cena is anymore. And in 20 years when Dom's 25, he'll be still talking about that. So what do you have on this match, Steven? I don't think there's much more to say on this front.
I think this is Cena. This match doesn't matter realistically. There's no buildup. There's no real buildup for this. And I think the worst thing that they let happen during all of this was letting AJ Styles announce that next year he'll be retiring too. Because AJ Styles letting everyone know that well, there's no real future for me. If he did it after the match, if Cena wins and AJ's like, okay, well, I think next year I'm gonna call it quits too. Like, I'm not gonna renew my contract next year. I think it would be different. But you let us know this like 3 weeks before this match happened, and this match has it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be entertaining. There's no value to it though.
This is a greatest hits kind of thing. I'm with you. I think it's Cena. I think you said that in there.
Yes.
I think that it has to be Cena because whoever ends his career, they need to be able to feel like it was worth it, and not that he was just washed up. Like squashed by Lesnar, loses to AJ, loses to two other people before we get to the end. Who cares who that last person was? It's like, yeah, you beat a washed up Cena. Good for you. I'm glad you wear that badge well. They got to build him up before they knock him down for the last time. Particularly, I hear rumors of there being a potential tournament for who the last opponent is going to be. And what's the point of having a tournament where you have to go through 8 other wrestlers to get a chance to retire John Cena if John Cena's on a losing streak? Like,
it's true.
It just doesn't make sense.
I do actually like that idea of it being a tournament, though, to find out Cena's last opponent.
Me too.
I dig that idea.
He doesn't have to be there to build that storyline. Yeah, I think it's fun. I love a good tournament, you know that. But at the same time, if Cena's on a losing streak, who cares?
Yeah, does not matter.
We're going to go in for what I'm speculating is the match of the night. We have Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus the Kabuki Warriors. And the family's broken up.
I guess. There is no more damage control whatsoever.
There's no more.
Damage control has been really no more for like a year. Match.
But they still pretended like they were damage control.
Yeah.
Honestly, was it War Games, Survivor Series is where I feel like they really didn't exist anymore. When Io was fully on the face team. She was a heel leader of a faction on the side of the good guys. Didn't really catch it. And one of my favorite things is like, is anyone gonna have your back after this? It's like, yeah, damage control. They're my team. I have a team. They're right there. No more does she have them right there. She has Rhea now. And I do enjoy Rhea, Io. And I do think that this match could go either way. But I'm going to go with the boring pick here. And I'm going to say it's Io and Rhea. There's a lot of reasons why the Kabuki Warriors should win this match. But we're in Australia. I think that this is still going to go a little bit further. I think that they're going to build towards an Asuka Io match eventually. I do like the idea of the Kabuki Warriors becoming tag team champions or getting in that tag division, but they kind of have to let this messiness kind of settle first. So I'm going to go with Rhea and Io. You seem like you might disagree with me here, which I was surprised by your.
So I'm of
their initial spell Riz.
So
they got Riz.
I am of two minds of this. The problem is I have 40 something years of conditioning and knowing what the WWE would do normally here. The problem is that's not what they are necessarily going to do here right now, because as you said, Rhea Ripley, hometown, well, home country, whatever, it's kind of like if you're Canadian, like if you're from anywhere in Canada, that means that all of Canada is your hometown.
100%.
If this was a couple years ago and we were calling for Bronson Reed to win the first match, I would be calling for Rhea Ripley to lose this match normally, because it's very, very Vince style booking. Hey, we're going to have these two lose and then they'll run it back or do something along those lines where it's got to be EO that goes against both Kabuki Warriors at some point, something along those lines. I'm inclined to agree with you, though, because if for no other reason, I don't think there's anyone who is working very hard for WWE to make some of the harder calls to make more interesting storylines. Like you said, this is the boring pick. Io and Rhea are the boring pick here. The pick that would be more edgy, that would give you a better story coming out of this, would be the Kabuki Warriors. I don't know if that's what TKO, the TKO version of the WWE is doing right now. I don't see an edgy version. I don't see them caring as much about storyline right now. They care more about, status quo. And the status quo is Rhea and Io.
Also, if I'm not mistaken, last night, did Kyrie go over on Io last night?
I think so. I know I know they were doing a bit. They were doing a bit where Asuka actually slapped Kyrie because she said she could still turn Io back over, and like Asuka's like the full heel. I think the problem with this is this looks very similar to what was who was it that did the same exact thing where like Kyrie seems like the one. Oh, when they were doing this with I think they were doing this in AEW, weren't they? With Yuta, where it's like, oh, he's not really with the bad guys. He's not really with the bad guys. And then he ended up being with the bad guys. I think they've done this with WWE sometime over the last year or two, where Kyrie seems like, I don't really want to be here. I don't want to fight my friend. And then you're going to realize that like she wants to fight her friend.
Sure. The Kyrie went over last night on Raw. Kyrie went over on Io Sky, and there was interference by Asuka that has "go home" math written all over it for Io and Rhea to take one back here. So I just think it all just kind of aligns in a way where they seem like I know it's boring, and I want to be edgier. I do, but that's where we're at, guys. All right, let's go to the main event here. We have the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, versus Seth freaking Rollins for the men's Crown Jewel champions. Champion versus champion for all of the respect. What are you thinking here, Steven?
There's going to be a lot of singing. Lots and lots of singing. Yep.
Yeah.
I think what should happen, there's a lot going on here. Again, if WWE was making better and being at the top of the story the way that Cody and Seth are, this is the area where they would be making that edgy storyline grab where Seth losing makes a lot of sense because of all the things that they're letting in as far as there being mistrust between him and Paul, there being mistrust between him and the Bronze. The fact of the matter is even as a heel, he doesn't really need Heyman or the Bronze right now, especially for the last few months. Like, he was better while he was with Becky. Cody, on the other hand, has to worry about his longtime friend, mentor. Eventually we'll see Cody versus Randy Orton at like WrestleMania, 75. It feels like, but they are still hinting at that because they go back to that They drop that seed in the ground every couple months just to tease us, and then they go away from it, or someone gets hurt, or Cody makes a movie, whatever it is. I think Seth needs to win this. Like, I agree with you. Like, Seth needs to win this in the sense that Cody won it last year, and to have him win it twice in a row really just demolishes your other world champion.
I haven't said that yet, but yes, I agree with that.
I thought we said that on the other show. Sorry. But
we said that earlier on before we jumped on this call.
We've said that too, but I thought we said it during the WrestlePalooza review as well.
Oh, yes.
If I recall correctly.
I think I did call Seth. I think I did say I think Seth's going to win this then. I stand by that. I think Seth needs this win. He's 0-3 against Cody. I think that title means absolutely nothing if he loses this match. You have the original holder of the World Heavyweight title, right? The World Heavyweight title. You have the one person that can legitimize this belt. I know Gunther having it was good, but Seth Rollins is the one that can actually legitimize this belt, and I think it starts with him going over on Cody, probably pretty clean. I think that I want to see more of Cody being vulnerable. He feels untouchable, and it's kind of boring. I know that I was the one that said, coming right out of his WrestleMania win, I wanted him to lose to AJ Styles. I think I even picked it this year of him losing to AJ Styles earlier on. And don't get me wrong, I love Cody. Cody's one of my favorites. I just like him chasing the title and that adversity of up and downs. And like, honestly, when they did give it to me, they gave it to me with crappy heel Cena, and it didn't feel as awesome. It wasn't that chase that I wanted. There was other opportunities for them to do that. Drop it, not drop it to Solo. I don't think Solo winning it would have been great, but there was a few moments throughout the year that he could have dropped this belt and then got it back really quickly.
I agree, and the problem with Cody is also emotional. Cody is not good, but fired up Cody is great. Like, when he actually has like some anger and some fire in his voice, it's way better. But when I get crying Cody Rhodes, I'm not as big of a I don't know. Maybe I'm too old school of a fan. But like, watching my babyface cry, I lose a little bit depending on what the aspect of it was. Like, Cody is just constantly trying to show the range of his acting, and I'm like, I don't care. I want you to get mad that the heel wronged you and go kick him in the face. Like, you're the son of the son of a plumber. Like, you're supposed to be the everyman champion. Go be the everyman champion. It doesn't matter how great of a wrestler you are. Sometimes you got to go punch a dude in the mouth, and there's a lot of times nowadays where that just doesn't happen, and I miss that. And again, maybe I'm just a jaded old man. I probably am.
Do you know what I miss? Kevin Owens.
I do miss Kevin Owens.
I can really use him in this dynamic right now, because Kevin Owens was on fire before he had to go and get his neck rebuilt. Is he a cyborg now? Something along those lines.
What if this was...
Steven, who do you... Good.
What if this match was, for sake of argument, Cody versus Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens was the World Heavyweight Champion?
It'd be fun.
That'd be a lot of fun.
I like where Rollins is right now. I really like the spot Rollins is in. I know people are annoyed by him, but that means he's doing his job well. Yeah, I mean, like, you'd be annoyed with him, but like, this is what you wanted. And so, but I would love to see Kevin Owens in this spot. I wanted to see Kevin Owens beat Cody earlier on, so very much very much open to Owens win that title and that build that they were kind of going towards.
So to answer your
Steven,
question,
I don't know if you fully said who you're going to take for this match.
I am going Rollins. I was just saying I'll fully answer your question. I'm going Rollins. I don't know, man. I don't believe in the WWE to shake up the status quo right now. That's not what they're trying to do. So I think I think it would be Rollins. I think the juicier storyline is with this does come out with Rollins a little bit more. So maybe this focuses a bit more on him. Like, even you could still show the cracks in the armor. Like, you can have Paul talking to Braun Breaker and be like, it's okay. Like, we still have our stuff in place. It's okay. And honestly, I think a good thing for Breaker might be a nice turnaround for all this that would really put him back into, or put him into the main event status, would be the official transformation of him into a Steiner. I think that would, I think him coming out and Heyman being like, Braun Breaker is stupid. That's a dumb name. That's not your name. Your name is Steiner. And whatever his first name is at that point, you know, whether they call him Braun Steiner or whatever it is, like, you are Steiner. That is who you are. Like, you hit a Steiner line. You hit this. Like, you hit a Frankensteiner. Like, you're a Steiner.
Steiner.
You know, like, that's what this is. And I could see that being what, like, transitions into him going full main event at that point. But
there's only one way to find out, and it's at 8 a.m. Eastern on Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, super early for this PLE. Folks, tell us why we're right. Tell us why we're wrong. I'm disappointed in you, Steven, for picking all the same ones that I picked. Even though I thought you were going to take Cody there, and I thought you were going to take Roman to begin with. You almost did, but then you listened to reason. Please like, subscribe, comment below. Tell a friend. If you don't have any friends, tell a stranger. And Steven,
as always, guys, remember, tuck your chin when you bump.